There is a strange gravity inside us, a pull we rarely understand, a force that draws us toward people who break us in familiar ways. Like a moth drifting toward a wounded light, we move closer even when the heat has burned us before. Not because we want the pain, but because something in the pain feels recognizable, familiar, almost like home. And that is where this story begins, with the haunting truth that we don't fall for who is good for us. We fall for what our nervous system remembers. Love doesn't begin with romance. It begins in childhood, in the earliest rooms where we were taught what connection feels like. Some of us grew up with steady affection. Others grew up learning to wait for love, guess for love, or earn love. A parent who held you warmly one day and drifted into silence the next. I tried, but wasn't emotionally present. A household where affection came in waves, warm, then cold, then warm again. This inconsistency shapes the heart. It becomes the blueprint. A child learns. Love disappears sometimes. I have to be good to be seen. If they leave, it's my fault. If they come back, it must mean I'm worthy. These become invisible scripts, echoing across years, quietly steering the choices we call chemistry. You're not drawn to hurt. You're drawn to what you once survived. Sometimes the person who wounds you feels like home because home was where you learned to endure. Years later, you meet someone. They're distant, unpredictable, or emotionally cold. And for reasons you can't explain, your chest tightens the way it did long ago. I know this feeling. This isn't attraction, it's recognition. Unconsciously, the body finds comfort in familiarity, even when that familiarity once caused harm. Psychology has a name for this pattern: intermittent reinforcement, when affection arrives unpredictably. A message after days of silence. A compliment after weeks of criticism. A moment of warmth right when you think you're ready to walk away. Unpredictable love creates the strongest emotional addiction. The brain becomes hooked not on the person, but on the uncertainty. The dopamine spike of maybe today, maybe now, maybe they care again. This is why leaving feels impossible. This is why you wait. This is why the return feels euphoric. You're not addicted to them, you're addicted to the emotional highs their inconsistency creates. Picture a child waiting at the window. A parent promised they'd come today. Hours pass. The sun begins to fall. The child's hope rises and collapses with every passing car. And just when the child is ready to give up, the door opens. The parent smiles, hugs them. I missed you. The relief is overwhelming. The reunion erases the ache. Fast forward 20 years, and that same child, now grown, waits by their phone for someone who always returns late. The body doesn't know this is a new person. It only knows this is a familiar pattern. Attachment isn't just a concept, it's a map your heart follows without realizing it. Anxious attachment waits, worries, chases, forgives too quickly. Avoidant attachment withdraws, tests distance, keeps intimacy at arm's length. Disorganized attachment craves closeness but fears it at the same time. When two wounded attachment styles meet, they replay an old tragedy in a new room. Not because they want to hurt each other, but because they don't know another dance. We repeat what wounded us, hoping this time it will finally heal us. Healing begins in the smallest moment, the moment you notice. Not judge. Not blame. Just notice. A tiny flicker of awareness in the nervous system. This isn't love. This is memory. From that awareness comes possibility. You begin to experiment with boundaries. Tiny ones at first. You begin to sit with discomfort instead of rushing back to the person who causes it. You begin to reparent the parts of you that still wait by the window. Healing is not dramatic. It's quiet, almost invisible. It's the shift from being charmed by unpredictability to choosing peace, even when peace feels unfamiliar. With time, the body learns a different rhythm. A sluggish one. A safer one. You stop mistaking anxiety for excitement. You stop confusing intensity with intimacy. You stop calling chaos passion. You begin to recognize love not by how much it hurts, but by how gently it stays. This transformation isn't loud. It isn't cinematic. It's a gradual softening, like light returning to a room you've been sitting in for years. The love you deserve will never ask you to abandon yourself to keep it. So if you've ever wondered why you love people who hurt you, the answer is simple, painful, and profoundly human. You learned love in places that were inconsistent, and your heart is still searching for the ending it never got. But patterns are not destiny. They are invitations. Invitations to awaken, to rewrite, to become the break in the lineage of inherited pain. And maybe, just maybe, this story isn't about who hurt you. It's about finally learning to love the one person who has been waiting for you all along. And that is yourself. And so, what insight, reflection, or life lesson did this video awaken in you today? Share it in the comments section. Your reflection might be the light someone else needs. And if this spoke to something inside you, subscribe, like, and share. And we'll walk the next chapter together.